world champion Atlanta Braves invade Manhattan to take on the East-leading Mets. The calendar says May, but it's never too early to renew a heated division rivalry. A big 4-game series comes your way next on Bally Sports.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. We join you from Flushing, New York for our first look at the New York Mets. One of the game's great rivalries is renewed in 2022 with Game 1 of 19 head-to-head. The Mets lead the division. Max Fried hopes to outduel Chris Bassitt and help the Braves edge closer to the top of the divisional pile. Hi again, everybody. Chip and Jeff, great to be back with you here in New York. This is a real treat. The Braves and the Mets, a whole lot of history between these two ball clubs. But right now, Jeff, the team at the top is a new-look New York team under their skipper, Buck Showalter.
Well, I think after 4 years of watching the Braves win the East, they felt like it's time to do something about it, and they've got off to a great start. New manager in Buck Showalter has come in, demanded respect, and you look at that so far, 16-7, scoring a lot of runs. More than anything, the ERA. They are limiting opponents right now at such a clip, but you saw that last year. Early on it got it. They faded late this year to see if they can do it a whole year.
And we're hoping the Braves can gain some traction, Jeff. If they're going to gain ground on the Mets, now's the time, and they at least have set up their rotation to do exactly that.
You couldn't ask for better 4 starters coming in here to Flushing to face the Mets in this 4-game series, starting off with tonight and Max Fried, your World Series Game 6 winner last year, 0 runs in his last 23 road innings pitched, which is fantastic. Charlie Morton, want to see a little more continuity from him, but then Kyle Wright, who has been outstanding this year, one of the best pitchers in the league, and then Ian Anderson, who we've seen the last 3 starts really taking on. So you got your 4 guys you want coming in here for this week.
Well, we'll see what the world champs can do. They're taking on the first-place Mets in Game 1 of what will start a great rivalry run here in 2022. Chilly night in New York, but that won't bother magnificent Max Fried. Paul Bird joins us for the broadcast to talk about the Braves ace who gets the start in Game 1 next.
Your local Ford dealer. Delta Airlines, keep climbing. And by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Welcome back, everybody. Paul Bird, Citi Field in New York. First thing I want to say is if you live in Atlanta, be glad because we're still really chilly here in New York. This is a big series, a 4-game series. We got a game doubleheader and then a day game on Wednesday. What a better way to start this out than with Max Fried on the hill. Is his team confident in him? Let's hear from Travis d'Arnaud and Snick.
Oh, a ton of confidence. I mean, I go to bed super early because I have no issues the night before. I know he does his homework. I know he's always ready to go. He stays on his routine every day, and you could just tell. You could tell when he walks out of the dugout to walk to the bullpen if he's locked in or not, and he's usually always locked in.
Max is as good as there is in the game, I feel. I mean, at any point in time, I mean, he's in complete control, and with his stuff and the experience that he's gained over the last few years, I enjoy watching him pitch. I think it's fun for me to just kind of sit back and stay out of his way, and I like watching him perform.
Everybody loves watching him pitch. Why? Because he uses all of his pitches, and when you're a hitter and you walk up to the plate, you want a game plan. That's tough to do. Look at the outs by pitch and the type, 53 in the last 3 starts, slider, sinker, 4-seamer. Yeah, it's tough to guess when you're throwing all of your pitches for strikes, and oh yeah, from the left side, it's 97, and his curve with the big spin rate around 2,900, also super tough. Big game coming up. First game, as I said, of a 4-game set. Who's going to win it? I don't know. You got to watch it. I can't wait.
Major League Baseball's great rivalries. The Braves and the New York Mets meet for the first time here at Citi Field. And it is a raw evening. 51 degrees. It feels like 45. Humidity 97%. Jeff, it's a misty evening. Far cooler weather than what we faced in Texas. But maybe the Mets and a little chill is what will heat up Atlanta's batting order. Presented by Toyota. Ronald Acuna Jr. will start for the 3rd straight game The previous 2 starts, he served as the Braves DH. Got to get Matt Olson going. He's in a bit of a cold spell. Austin Riley, Marcell Ozuna, Ozzie Albies, and we will face Chris Bassitt, who is an under-the-radar acquisition for the Mets, but boy, has he been good.
Yeah, come over from the Oakland A's. See his record this year has been outstanding. Allowed 1 earned run or fewer in 3 of the 4 starts. A lot of pitches. Throws fastball about 45% of the time, but then he goes slider, cutter, and he's got a little bit of a sinker and a curve. His big thing, he really commands the strike zone, and he's been big for the Mets so far.
So Brian Snitker's Braves, they've won 1 series this year, Jeff. They're 6 games out of first place. They're 10-13 on the year. What are the forward keys for Snit's squad to get going tonight?
Got to put the ball in play. This team's been striking out too much for the Braves, not giving themselves enough opportunities. And for Max Fried, and I keep streaking, 26 consecutive scoreless innings on the road. Outstanding.
You're right about the strikeouts, 30 of them in the 3-game series with the Texas Rangers. But as we said in the pregame show, sometimes for this Braves club, playing the top of the division brings out their best. Hopefully that'll be the case tonight, as Ronald Acuna Jr. greeted with a standing boo as we get set to start Game 1 and let the games begin.
Let you know you're in New York.
So Chris Bassitt is into his windup, and the first of the night is fouled away, and we're underway. Ronald 2 for 13 to start the season. Remember, he had just 19 at-bats at AAA for the Gwinnett Stripers, so this is essentially his spring training. And what a stage for that tonight in New York. The pitch in the dirt. This is Bassitt's second start against a National League Eastern team in his career. All those years with the Oakland A's where he was very good. 27-11 record the last 3 seasons with the Athletics. And Chad Fairchild says good enough, strike 2. Ronald 2 for 13 at the plate. A 3-strikeout game yesterday in Arlington. Strike 3 outside corner. So Bassitt, 22 strikeouts, 1 walk, and that's how Game 1 begins.
And you see nothing overpowering, Chip. 92 on the second strike, 93 there. Kind of that funky delivery, and the ball just kind of shoots out, and you see Ronald could not pick up those 2 fastballs real well. Again, though, a lot of these guys have never faced Bassitt.
Matt Olson has not faced him, but he played with him. I would think that would give him a leg up tonight. Only 2 Braves have faced Bassitt before. Ozuna is one, Demerit the other. And his former A's teammate takes downstairs. What are you seeing from Matt right now, Jeff? It's been a struggle for him the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I just, I think I'd like to see him get back to thinking big part of the field up the middle. I feel like he's been out in front, kind of in between pitches. That's right there, these 2 pitches that he take. When first 2 weeks, that's what we saw him doing, a lot of hitters counts. I feel like the last 2 weeks we've seen a lot of 0-2 and 1-2 counts.
The 2-0 is launched toward left. And Mark Canha in left field in the corner makes the catch. Olson's retired. 2 up, 2 down for Braves third baseman Austin Riley. Austin's having a super start to his season, and one of the reasons he was in the top 10 in MVP voting was the absolute destruction he levied on the New York Mets pitching staff last year. Austin hit .348 against the Mets with 7 homers and 19 RBIs last year.
Sounds like another third baseman that used to play for the Braves.
First pitch swing and into the shift. McNeil, long throw, skips it off the dirt. And that'll take care of Austin and the Braves here in the opening inning. 8 pitches for Bassitt, 3 quick outs, and Max Fried goes to work in Gotham. We'd show you the opposing manager. The manager of the Mets is Buck Showalter, but moments ago he was suspended a game for the role the Mets played in hitting Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies in their just concluded series. So Glenn Sherlock will have the lineup card, and his Toyota batting order is a very good one. The Mets #1 in on base, 3rd in runs, and the 4th fewest strikeouts among any National League offense this year. And they've got some new names, Jeff, that have done really good things for them in their first 23 games. But they run into Max Fried, one of the game's best for Atlanta tonight.
I said, see 5 starts since 2020 against the Mets. See those numbers this year, but the last 2 starts in particular, 1 run in 13 innings, 12 Ks, and no walks for Max. And been very efficient.
Brandon Nimmo will lead off for New York. Nimmo at .265 on the year. And Fried paints a corner. As you mentioned, Max has this terrific run of work away from Truist Park.
26 straight scoreless.
And 6-0 in his last 7 road decisions. So you want to start a streak and gain some ground? Right guy on the mound in game 1 tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
No shift for Brandon Nimmo. Riley even with the bag at 3rd as Fried's floater is in there, a beauty. Pulled a string, and it's 1-2.
2 hard fastballs away and then dropped a 74-mile-per-hour curveball on him.
And I think you can tell at home we're in the flight pattern tonight.
Yeah, every 2 minutes.
Now the shift on as Nimmo is fortunate to stay alive. That was a close call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thought Fairchild was going to ring him up. I think Max thought so too.
Yeah. Very similar to the pitch Bassitt got against Ronald on the other side of the plate.
That's off the netting over the Braves dugout on the 3rd base side. Boy, it's great to be back in New York. Catch up with all of our broadcast colleagues. Back at Citi Field, one of the nicest of the newer ballparks in the major leagues.
Yep.
Big crowd. And a big series here in the first week of May. And Nimmo fought that off. This is what the Mets have been doing, Jeff. They have a 23% strikeout rate as a team. They put the ball in play. Make your work.
Well, I said last night, scored 10 runs on 15 hits, not 1 home run. This is very different than what you're used to seeing if someone scores 10 runs.
Max ready with another 2-2 pitch. And Nimmo doing his job as the leadoff man, seeing a lot of pitches. Fried will have to throw an 8th to the first Met he faces tonight. Something else Max has done exceptionally good work with is not walking people. No walks in 21 straight innings. So he's coming right at Nimmo here with nobody on or out in his first frame. Another floater, but right into the shift. Bobbled for a moment. Ozzie recovers, and that'll cost him. E4 on Ozzie Smith, or Ozzie Albies. Well, we were talking about Ozzie Smith earlier tonight. Ozzie Albies, and Nimmo's aboard on an E4.
Yeah, after 5 straight fastballs, he decides to throw him a curveball. Look, Nimmo hit it hard. It just kind of handcuffed Ozzie. And probably 2 guys on his team between Nimmo, Lindor, maybe McNeil too. The 3 of them that can beat that kind of ball out, and they were able to.
So the Mets have the first base runner of the game, a rare error from Ozzie Albies, and Mark Canha, the hitter. Canha's reached in 15 of 16 games for New York. He missed some time on the COVID list, but back and ready to go tonight. That's high, ball 1. Canha, a new face. Clutch hitter for the Mets, 6 RBIs. And in a nice spot in the batting order behind the speedy Nimmo and ahead of Francisco Lindor.
I feel like we're seeing all these guys from Oakland everywhere we go. They've traded a lot of guys.
Short lead at first. Fried with an excellent pickoff move. Got that call. Even count.
And that's one great thing. Even with a fast runner like Nimmo at first, he's got to respect Max Fried's pickoff move.
The Mets will run. They've stolen 12 bases this year. They've been caught 5 times. Nimmo has yet to attempt a stolen base. Not going here, and that's fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Canha, we're told, is a very deliberate hitter. Takes him a while to get settled in the batter's box. As Fried has him set up, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wind picking up, blowing in toward the Mets dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Base hit to left. Error and a single, and New York sets it up for Lindor and Alonso here in the first.
Hanging changeup from Max on that pitch. I think it was the right pitch after those, but see how this one just kind of floated, came back over the middle part of the plate.
So Lindor a chance to strike first in the first for New York. Last year, not a good one for Francisco in his first as a Met. He has rebounded nicely in the season's first month this year. Fried in some early trouble, nobody out, and in for a strike.
Yeah, definitely off to a much better start this year. Be tough getting the contract that he did, Chip. Happened to play somewhere for 10 years. Just never really could recover from that first 2 months of the season.
Braves play Lindor straight up on the infield, hoping for a double play chance, and time called. An error and a single on a hanging changeup. 2 on, nobody out for New York. Fried about to make his 15th pitch. To center, and curling away from Adam Duvall, who makes the grab, and no advance by the runners.
And Nimmo's got his hands over his head, knew that he had missed a great opportunity, Chip, to get to third base. Was actually really surprised. He saw it, and for some reason, you see him hitting his head. He just didn't get back to second quick enough. And a guy with his speed, that was an easy ball to get to third.
Yeah, the ball tailing away from Duvall. He had to spin and throw.
Turn, that's exactly, and you can see him right away putting his head on. Huge break for Max Fried.
And now you've got Pete Alonso, the big polar bear, hitting .250 with 18 RBIs, but lefties have held him down. Pete's not off to a good start against Southpaws, hitting just .188 against them. And the Braves in recent times have really made life tough for him. A double play ball gets you out of the inning.
I feel like one thing the Braves have done a great job over the last 2 years with Pete Alonso, mixing up speed on him. They're, you know, if they usually throw like a curveball there, now you see him come back with some sort of cut or fastball. They just really do a great job of keeping him off balance.
Alonso has yet to hit into a double play. This would be a perfect time for that. With 2 on, 1 away. Fried checks and brings it. Little pop. That's hit towards shortstop. Infield fly. Alonso's retired, and Fried's an out away from getting out of a mess.
And there's a perfect example, Chip. Get me over curveball at 74 to start, and then what does he do? Hard in at 95 right there to jam him.
So the infield fly takes care of Alonso, and Eduardo Escobar is the hitter. Escobar, a switch hitter, hitting .350 from the right side of the plate. So we're not out of the woods yet, but Fried 1 out away from keeping this game scoreless.
And if you're the Mets right now, you know in a game like this, you're not going to have too many opportunities to break through against a guy like Max Fried. First and second, no outs. Now all of a sudden, 2 outs.
One ball, no strikes. In the air center, Duvall retreats. He's going to have room, and what a job by Max Fried. First and second, nobody out, and the Mets fail to break through. Here come the Braves in the second, no score. Back in New York, Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. Jeff Rancourt, Chip Carey with you. Paul Bird is along for the ride as well. Great recovery from Max Fried, Jeff, in the first inning. 2 on, nobody out. Puts 0 on the board and turns things over to Marcell Ozuna here in the second.
Yeah, really escaped that after an error and a single. Came back and got 3 outs against the middle of the order. It was interesting last night on the plane, if you think about it. Marcell spent some time with Chip and I in the back and talked about how right now he felt he was flying open. At that front side, he could not get it to stay closed towards the pitcher.
On the ground, sharply to short. And Lindor takes a peek and throws him out. 4 up, 4 down for Chris Bassitt. So how do you fix that? No BP on the field today for both the Mets and Braves.
Yeah, you know, like anything, you do a little work. Look, it's always going to open up a little bit. You know, Marcell is so strong he's able to get away with it a little bit, but at the same time, he's got to keep himself kind of up through the middle. You know, he's so strong that how many times have we seen him hit balls dead center? So I think that's the big thing for him. Feel like he's hitting through the ball, not around it.
Got to get Ozzie going. Ozzie Albies is 0 for his last 19. And no hits in his last 22 plate appearances. That's not like him. But he does have 6 homers, 11 RBIs. The Mets shift for him. J.D. Davis, the lone defender on the left side for Bassitt, who delivers. And a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Albies had 19 RBIs against New York pitching last season. And chased one at the tomahawk, didn't get that. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Only 13 pitches for Bassitt. He's got 4 outs. And this one to first. Tricky hop, but Pete Alonso will handle that. To make it 3 ground outs for Bassitt, 2 away, and Travis d'Arnaud coming up. He's our Coors Light beating the pressure feature tonight.
Back where his career kind of got going here in New York for the Mets, 8 career games, has done a great job against his former team. 3 home runs, 2 doubles in those games. Sitting 367 over last 8 games this season too. He's set off to a good start. Looks healthy, swinging the bat well.
305 average, 8 RBIs. For d'Arnaud, Duvall next with the bases empty. The pitch is in for a strike. I think you said it great about Bassitt, Jeff. Nothing exceptional except his control.
Yeah.
Which is what really matters most, right?
Yep. He knows where he wants to put the ball, and you see just funky enough delivery to throw you off a little bit too.
So to beat him, to beat Max Fried, you're going to have to hit him. Both these starters have combined for 2 walks.
Yeah, they control the zone. You see how that arm of his goes way back and kind of just slings it.
Bassett 12-4 last year for the A's with a 3.15 ERA. And there's a sharply hit ball over the glove of Lindor. So there's the first Atlanta hit. There goes the no-hit bid. 1 on, 2 outs, and Adam coming up.
Good piece of hitting. See a cutter that he was trying to go away with it, backed up over the middle of the plate, and Travis right on it. Just over Lindor. This is a guy to me right now is the key, need to get going. Adam Duvall.
And you mentioned the swing and miss. Adam is on that list, unfortunately. 29 strikeouts in the first 23 games. That's too many.
Well, and he usually hits, you know, down at this part of the order, about 7th. And when you look at his production the last 2-3 years, probably one of the best 7th hole hitters in the game. What, 39 home runs last year? So they're missing some of that right now.
Pop fly back toward us, sent out of play. It's 0-2. The strikeout rate for Duvall, a whopping 36%.
Yeah.
29 strikeouts in 80 at bats. And as is so often the case when a hitter's in that kind of a slide, you look at the count. Here he is again, quickly 0-2. Hits are even 1 apiece. No score yet. Top second in New York. Big hole on the right side for Duvall with d'Arnaud at first. The pitch. A curveball of beauty, and that will retire the side. Duvall strikes out for the 30th time this year. No score, heading to the home second. Max Fried starts his second inning of work in a scoreless game. Jeff, he's our Georgia Natural Gas Impact player tonight.
He has absolutely dominated on the road last 7 starts coming into tonight. All 7 of those have been quality starts. He's holding opponents to a 158 on base percentage. Incredible.
Worked around a leadoff error and a hit in the first inning. Max threw 20 pitches. Let's see if he has a easier workload here in the second. He'll start with J.D. Davis, the Mets third baseman, with a homer, 2 RBIs.
I think last inning was just so big because tonight both these pitchers, the weather, we felt like we were in for a low scoring game tonight.
Well, if you think of it, if that holds true, Nimmo not tagging up might prove to be one of the biggest plays in this game. In the first inning, as that's taken low for J.D. Davis. Davis, Marte, and McNeil for New York in the second. Foul straight back.
That's where Max is so good at 2-0 like that. As a right-hander, you're trying to tell yourself, see the ball out over the plate, cheat a little bit on a fastball, and Chippy get it on the inner half, and you just can't get the bat head there. As a hitter, it is very frustrating.
Let's see what d'Arnaud cooks up here with a 2-ball 1-strike count. So Davis back even at 2-2. Mets this year 2-3 against left-handed starters, batting .241. They've had 2 base runners tonight, but no runs as Max turns it loose. And he chased a high fastball. Fried's first strikeout. Good start to the second inning. 1 man down.
Climb the ladder on him just enough to get him to chase that pitch. Gets his first K of the night.
And here's another former Oakland A, Starling Marte. And Jeff, another guy that's made a big difference in this Mets lineup, both at the plate and in the field. Marte, 18 runs batted in. and 4 stolen bases this year for New York. The pitch to Max, or from Max, is in for a strike. Max starting to get into a nice rhythm here. He's set down 4 straight. And all of a sudden, partner, everything's starting to cook for him. 0-2.
Those deals like Tommy G settle down and he gets on a roll.
That one slipped out of his hand. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Going back to that first inning, you know, if Nimmo gets to third on that with Alonso as a hitter, first and third and 1 out, the idea that you can hit a fly ball, even a ground ball to the right side, usually get a run, and so different than first and second and 1 out.
2-2. And a broken bat shot into left field for a base hit. Over quickly is Demeritte. Marte on his way to second, and he's going to stand in with a 1-out double. Third double for Starling Marte, and the Mets have their second hit.
Got it in on him. You could hear it kind of broke his bat, I think. But he was able to throw it right over Riley's head. Good job by Travis getting the ball in left field, but Starling too fast. And
now Jeff McNeil. This guy has been a real pest. .361 average, a 4-hit game yesterday. And we're told McNeil not trying to hit home runs.
Yeah.
That's not his game. But a terrific 8th place hitter with 7 career hits against Max Fried. Lefty lefty now. The pitch in the air to center. That'll chase Duvall back. And plenty of room. Marte is going to tag. Here comes the throw. But that's going to be way late. They advance the runner, but it cost the Mets a precious second out.
Yeah, if you're Max Fried right there, you don't mind that at all. 1 pitch, 1 out. With Marte's speed, second to third's no, really, he's going to score on a base hit anyways. Now you got the 9th hitter in the lineup. You can go to work and leave him stranded again.
And that 9th place hitter is James McCann, a terrific catcher. He's off to a quiet start at the plate, especially against left-handed pitching. He's 1 for 14 this year against opposing southpaws. This, though, has been a dangerous place to face the Mets. They're hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. And a good way to start this sequence. Strike 1. New York stranded a pair in the first. Fried trying to strand Marte at third here in the second. One more of those will work.
Yeah, a couple sliders in a row for Max to start McCann off. First one got the call, second one a little bit lower, got the swing.
Max ready for his 14th pitch of the inning. He's way ahead of James McCann, the catcher. And here it is. That one got away. It's all the way to the backstop, and the Mets get a huge break. 1-0. So ahead 0-2. Fried throws one in the dirt. d'Arnaud couldn't knock it down. He was on a knee. It went under his right arm. And with the speedy Marte at third, this was an easy first run of the game. So the first break of the game goes to New York. They cash in the 1-out double and score the first run on a wild pitch. Ladd's headed to the right side into the third deck.
It's a tough pill to swallow for Max when you were really one pitch away from putting McCann away.
So it's 1-0 New York. The pitch is on the ground. Dansby, nice play. Long throw, and that will retire the side. Max Fried frustrated. He was one pitch away from a scoreless game. He's down a run heading to the third.
Travis Demeritte is going to walk up to the plate this inning. Talking earlier with Braves hitting coach Kevin Seitzer, saying what's the reason for the success at the plate? We know he can play outfield, infield. He's got speed, very versatile. He said the difference is, Paul, he's getting on plane early. Before, with his load, he would get ready and then he would swing behind the ball almost like he was chopping wood. Now they're trying to level out that swing at the start so that he's ready to go. And let's face it, guys, with everybody throwing harder, the pitch up in the zone, that's a really good idea.
And it's worked for him, Paul. Travis Demeritte, 6 for his last 14 at the plate.
Just had good at bats, I thought, the whole year so far. Remember one night in Atlanta, he hit 2 bullets to left field, both caught.
And we were waiting for Ron Washington to make his way out of the dugout. Wash had to get some gloves. I don't blame him. It's a raw night. Feels like 45 degrees. So Chris Bassitt staked to a 1-run lead. Demeritte, Swanson, and Ronald Acuna Jr. are coming up here in the top of the third inning. And on the ground to Davis, got the hop he wanted. And another ground ball out. One away for the Brave shortstop, Dansby Swanson. Something else that's been instrumental in the Mets' 16-7 start. They've made 7 errors in the first 23 games. You mentioned Buck Showalter, attention to detail.
Yeah, he's always been that way, very, always prepared. I think one thing we kind of heard here throughout the day from a lot of the people around New York is that, these guys like to have a lot of fun, but they also are very focused and serious at times too, which has not always been the case in years past.
And when you have the resume that Buck Showalter has, he has the ability to get your attention very quickly. Manager with the Yankees, the Orioles, the Rangers. As Bassitt turns it loose, and Dansby pokes one down the right field line. Long run for Marte, and won't have a play. And look, I think that's an area that the Mets figured they needed to improve. Mickey Callaway was not successful here. Luis Rojas had some successes but didn't get him to the promised land. Buck Showalter, Jeff, has a history of being able to do that.
He's done it with quite a few organizations, and I think too at the Mets they probably looked at the Braves. They looked at the Astros with Dusty Baker, and not that all your managers have to be older, but I think with this team it was the right fit at the right time for them.
1 ball, 1 strike for Dansby Swanson, whose bat is heating up. Batting .357 in his last 9 games.
Sorry, partner, you said it, I think at the open, 7 straight series wins for the Mets. It's quite the way to start your career here in New York.
That was tipped. A ball and 2 strikes. And again, if you're just joining us, Buck Showalter not managing tonight. Suspended for a game by Major League Baseball for the fracas between the Mets and Phillies in their just completed series. Showalter will be back in the dugout tomorrow, we presume, for the doubleheader. As Bassitt goes to work, there's that big curveball. 3 strikeouts, 2 away, and back to the top of the order. Ronald Acuna Jr. is our Zaxby's indescribably good player. As you heard Brian Snitker say, Jeff, I think the Braves are happy to be back playing within the division again.
Yeah, I think so. Comfortable for them. 302 career versus the Mets. You see that? Reached base safely in 38 of the 46 career games against the Mets. Also 38 steals within that time. And see, there's that big curveball again. That's what he struck Dansby out with. It's like a Roy Oswalt curveball. It's not the 12-6. It kind of comes in a little to the side and it makes you buckle. Buckled Adam Duvall last inning.
So second time through the order now. Braves should have a much better idea of what Bassett has, and what he has tonight has been awfully good.
Yeah. But again, as we talk about, it's not a 23-game season. It's a 162. And if you remember when Atlanta left here for the last time last year, July 29th, they were losing the division by 5 games. And, well, we all know how that turned out.
Can you finish the drill? The pitch. That shaves off a corner.
Man.
I'm not sure about that.
Come on. That's the other, that's frustrating when you're a hitter, too. This guy out on the mound doesn't need any help.
So Acuna ahead in the count now, 2 balls and a strike, and what's time. Little chopper hit toward third. Davis has to hurry. Gloves, grabs, guns, and they got him. Acuna wants to appeal it. Bang, bang play. They ring up Ronald Acuna Jr. Safe or out? Let's take a look at the replay. And Snit says he's going to challenge the out call at first.
Oh, yeah, he's safe. Tell you the other good thing, so we take one more look at it. Oh, yeah. He's safe. How nice is it to see him run like that, Chip? That's the first time I feel like we've seen him really just bust it. Ground ball to third base.
Atlanta is challenging the out call at first base.
So Laz Diaz makes the announcement. Let's take a look at Ronald running out of the box. He looked terrific, like nothing had ever happened to that knee.
Yeah, and the same thing when he's done running through the bag, you always keep your eye on him as he's running down to see, and at no point did you see any hesitation.
Yeah, on a night like this, with the mist and the cold, you think back to Boston. Remember when Ronald hit the bag at Fenway Park and went down, and everybody thought he wrecked his knee a couple of years ago.
30.5 sprint speed.
After review, the runner is safe. Atlanta retains their challenge.
And that is the fastest sprint from the plate to first base by any Braves hitter so far this season. And so now you have a little pressure for New York with Ronald Acuna Jr. 2 for 2 in stolen bases at first base with 2 outs in a 1-0 game. Matt Olson hit the ball hard, flied out to Canha and left. So Matt is 0 for 1. 13 games since Olson has hit a home run. His last one came in San Diego. This would be a perfect spot to change that. And they chase Acuna back.
Can's got a good arm behind the plate, but I wouldn't mind seeing Ronald try to steal second right here. Just talk about force the action a little bit on the other team. We've seen so far just in 2 innings the Mets kind of do that tonight. Talked this weekend in Texas, Saturday and Sunday, there were too many easy innings, I felt like.
Ronald, another full step on that lead at first, not going, and the pitch missed badly inside, ball 1. So Atlanta 2 hits on the night. And Olson 2 homers, 7 runs batted in. They shift for him. Ronald started, then stopped, and that ball is hammered down the right field line. He hit it a country mile, almost to the top row of the upper deck, but he pulled it foul. And Bassett laughing at that. His former teammate nearly got him.
Straighten that one out just a little bit. You want those bragging rights against your former teammate.
Bassett a little more deliberate now with a runner at first and Olson in the box. 1-1 pitch. Off the end of the bat foul. It's now 1-2. Let's see if Ronald thinks about taking off with Olson behind in the count. Outfield straightaway and deep.
Two strikes, maybe not a bad idea to go here, and then even if you get thrown out, you get Olson a new count next inning.
Ronald has a good lead. Not going. There's that big floater. It's taken high. 2-2. It's a big ballpark in New York. 408 to straightaway center, 380 to the right center field alley.
A lot smaller though now than it used to be.
And left field especially. You used to have to hit the ball in the stands for it to be a home run in the early days at City.
Yeah, it's perfect when I played here.
And that's why you're sitting with me. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. And Olson couldn't resist. Bassett has 4 strikeouts. Acuna left stranded in the third. Mets hold a 1-0 lead. And Ronald Acuna Jr. is officially back. Join us this weekend at Truist Park for Hank Aaron Week and come see Ronald Acuna and your Braves take on Christian Yelich, Lorenzo Cain, and the Milwaukee Brewers. Get your tickets for this weekend's exciting games at Braves.com. Max Fried down a run, a wild pitch, the only run scored so far tonight, and he'll start anew with Brandon Nimmo, who reached on an error to start the game. Mets 1, Braves 0 after 2.5.
Starts Nimmo off with 2 fastballs. Last time kind of hung a curveball. Felt like might have sped up his bat a little bit for him.
Back to the mound. It ricochets right to Austin Riley. Max, an excellent fielder, got a friendly bounce. He'll take that. Speedy runner retired, 1 out.
Telling the umpire where it got him.
A little higher than the one before this year.
Yeah, and it was not hit that hard. So, and the break went right to Austin Riley.
So Nimmo's retired. Here's Canna. He singled in the first inning. Mets had first and second, nobody out, didn't score. Canna now on base in 15, make it 16 of 17 games for the Mets. First pitch swing, high fly ball deep left field. Track, wall, leaping try, it's gone. Canna ambushes it. Solo home run. That's his first.
First home run as a Met. We just got done talking about the new, not new because it's been here a while, but that wall in left field, how it's shorter now with the party deck. You got that high in the air, but enough to carry out of here.
First homer for Canha, second allowed by Fried. The Mets extend their lead to 2-0. And here is Lindor, who flied out his first time up. Mets made big news today. They designated Robinson Cano for assignment, with this year and next year left on a gigantic contract. Lindor was quoted as saying, "Look, I won't be happy if they let Cano go," but talking to some of the Mets people, they said that move makes him a better team. Cano was not playing well.
And like you said, when you have a guy like that, at the end of the day, he's not really built to be a bench player. So if he's not going to play,
two balls and a strike. And a little chopper. Riley's got to hurry. Gloves and throws on the run. Boy, he is so good at the hot corner. More soft contact from Max Fried's opponent. 2 outs.
got rid of the ball quick.
Alonso popped out. So he's 0 for 1. Now the Braves medical staff is out to check on Max Fried. Is he all right?
I think he's not looking at his leg or anything. He's pointing to the mound, something of maybe he landed funny.
Yep, just a little bit of a slip there. So Fried says he's all right. Back to work he goes with Pete Alonso. 2-0. Mets have the lead. As we said, Alonso just 1 RBI against a left-handed pitcher this year and a 188 average. And now an even count. Just past 8 o'clock in the East. Glad you're with us across the Southeast. Paul Bird, Jeff Rancourt, Chip Carey with you. Mets lead 2-0. Single runs in the second and 1 here in the third. Braves have 2 hits and have struck out 4 times in the first 3 innings against Chris Bassitt. Now Fried trying to add to his strikeout total. He's 1 more away from ending this inning.
And you see how again he's just mixing it all over on Pete Alonso. One of the few changeups he's thrown all night, just darting away from the plate.
And then Alonso takes a fastball right down 5th Avenue. And Max Fried retires the side. Canha's homer extends the lead. But the Braves 3, 4, 5 men are coming up. Riley, Ozuna, and Ozzie Albies. Mets lead game 1, 2-0. After 3 innings, Austin Riley set to lead off. He's also, Jeff, our ultra strong stats man, brought to you by Charmin.
Talked about his job versus the Mets last year, and especially here at Citi Field. Career 297 hitter versus the Mets with 11 homers in only 34 games.
Austin Riley takes a strike. Gotta get something going, man. Single base runners in the second and third innings. That's it for the Braves offense to this point.
Well, get something going early, too. Both last innings came with 2 outs before they got a guy on.
That's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tonight's game starts a stretch over the next 25 games where the Braves' opponent's win percentage is .574. The schedule definitely is taking a turn for the tougher now.
And sometimes, like we said, it's not the worst case. Guys rise up. It wakes you up a little bit.
High fly ball. That's crushed to deep left center field. Dead power. Austin Riley, a solo home run. And you're right, partner. Another Braves third baseman is terrorizing the Mets.
See the outfielders? They didn't even move on this ball. That was a slider. He tried to go away, and it backed up right over the heart of the plate. Watch the outfielders just kind of sit there and give it a courtesy jog.
So the Braves are on the board with a leadoff home run for Austin Riley. Hitting home runs hasn't been a problem for the Braves offense. Now let's get a couple more with some men on base. As Bassett shows he's human. 2-1 game. Marcell Ozuna grounded out to short his first time up.
And see, that's where maybe Marcell, if you open it up a little bit early, that pitch on the outside half looks so far off the plate because of where your body's going.
And quickly for Marcell, it's 0-2. McNeil playing right behind the second base bag for New York. Marcell's had a couple of balls hit that way that took away hits in the early going for Atlanta. And the pitch. There's the breaking ball. Ozuna's down on strikes. That's 5 strikeouts for the Mets starter, 1 away, and Ozzie Albies the hitter. You're right, that ball has a hump in it, doesn't it?
Well, and that's, see, he can even speed it up a little bit. That's not as slow as the other ones, but it's what he has, just a lot of pitches. He can move the ball around.
Ozzie trying to break an 0 for 20 slide at the plate. And takes a ball low. 1 ball, no strikes. Austin Riley leads off the 4th with a solo homer. Number 7 for the Braves third baseman. Nothing straight from this guy, is it?
No, you see that 2-0 just kind of going away a little bit. And that's what happens. Then if you start thinking about that 2-seamer, he throws that cutter in on you. That's what he struck Matt Olson out on to end the 3rd. That one right there. So gets the 2-seamer running away, then cutter in.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Now the right-hander's ready. Here it comes. Again, the 2-2. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts, 6 strikeouts through 3 2/3 innings.
Before we get to d'Arnaud, let's take a quick message from Landmark.
Hi friends, I'm Chip Carey, in between innings for Landmark Mark. Landmark's hitting it out of the park every day. That's why they're #1, because nobody beats the Giant. Nobody.
Travis d'Arnaud singled in the second. That was the first Braves hit. Two-one game. We are in the 4th. And Bassett and McCann having trouble getting together here. d'Arnaud stepped out as well, wanted to clear his eyes.
It's been a couple times now here this inning. See, everything's just a little different. He's got the two-seamer at 92. That's the cutter at 88. Slider at 84. So just a little bit adding, subtracting.
Had him off stride, little pop right side. Alonso and McNeil. It'll be McNeil, and that will retire the side. Braves get a solo home run. A leadoff bomb from Austin Riley. The Braves are on the board. Now we're down just 1. Home 4th coming up in Game 1 against the Mets.
By unbeatable internet only from Xfinity. And by the All South Highway Safety Team. Always wear your seatbelt.
Chip and Jeff back with you in New York, and Austin Riley homer has the Braves down a run. It's a 2-1 score. Braves fans, a $6 Braves flash sale is happening now. Cheer on the Braves at Truist Park when the Phillies come in May 24th through the 26th, or you can pick the Marlins games May 27th through the 29th. You can get up to 8 tickets on the 400 level for just $6. The offer expires tomorrow at midnight. Truist Park has been buzzing all year long. Come on and join us for Eastern rivals Philly and Miami in May. Max Fried down a run now, Jeff. 4th inning. Escobar, Davis, and Marte coming up for the second time.
And you got one back there now. Max needs a good shutdown inning here and get the offense back to work.
One thing we know about Max, if he gives up a run or something bad happens behind him, he is able to put it out of his mind and goes to work. It's almost like he gets madder and gets better.
Yeah. Remember the World Series, got his foot stepped on, and rest was history.
Little dribbler right in front of the plate. That'll be easy pickings. And Escobar is 0 for 2. And J.D. Davis, the batter, he struck out his first time, one of 2 punch-outs for Max Fried in the game. Braves will only make 2 trips to New York this year. First 2-game series was canceled because of the ongoing labor issues. That's why we have a doubleheader tomorrow and a doubleheader in August when we're back in Gotham.
Yeah, 4 games in 3 days and 5 games in 4 days.
Amazing. But the Mets will be in for series in Atlanta in July, in August, and the final 3 home games of the season will be against New York at Truist Park. If I were a betting man, I'd say those are going to be very important games. As is this one tonight. First matchup. Mets lead the Braves 2-1. And Max way ahead. It's 0-2.
Well, Davis last time gets nothing but fastballs in and up in the zone now. Max throwing the curveball on him.
Well, you called it. You said low scoring game. That's exactly what we've got. The Cano homer, the difference. As Fried turns loose his 0-2 and just missed. Marte on deck. He doubled and scored on a wild pitch for the first Mets run. First things first, the 1-2 pitch is popped up right side. A lot of foul ground here. Matt Olson is going to have room in front of the Mets dugout. Thank you very much. There's out number 2.
Got that ball in on the bat again. Fastball in. Got him jammed.
So Max is sent down 4 straight after the Canha first pitch ambush homer in the 3rd inning. And now Starling Marte is coming up. Marte one of a whole host of former Oakland A's playing somewhere else, as you said. Mets have 2 of them tonight in Bassett and Starling. Matt Olson, also a former Oakland star, playing for the Braves. He went strike 1.
Thought it was a strike on the pitch, to be honest with you, almost.
Base is empty for Marte. It's in the dirt and an even count. Airplanes bother you when you're playing here?
I think you get so used to them you don't even realize it anymore, to be honest with you.
Well, they are on ILS tonight.
I mean, yeah, just coming in hot.
There's not much visibility. The pitch outside. 2-1 the count. Doubleheader tomorrow, day game Wednesday. Ostensibly 4 games in 48 hours for the Braves and Mets. As Fried goes back to work. There's that slow curve.
Have to make sure I get you your sleep tonight.
Or just stay awake in the city that never sleeps, Jeff.
Power straight through.
Exactly right. It's happened before. 2 balls, 2 strikes with the bases empty in a 2-1 game. And here she comes. And that is strike 3. Marte is rung up, and that will retire the side. Fried does have a shutdown 1-2-3 frame. And after Riley's homer, the Braves bats go back to work. We're off to the 5th. Good ball game in New York. It's 2-1 Mets in front. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Truist Park. Buy and manage game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Lower 3rd for the Braves as we've reached the 5th inning. Great pitching. Fried and Bassett dueling as we expected, Jeff, they would tonight.
Yeah, both these guys off to great starts this year, and tonight showing why.
If you recall, that's the pitch that buckled Adam Duvall in his first matchup with Bassett tonight. He has struck out 6 Braves in 4 innings. Duvall was his 2nd strikeout victim tonight. And that's foul to Ronnie Wash. Good play.
See, if he didn't have those gloves on, would have made the play.
That's a 70-year-old man that looks spry and fit. Wash had a great birthday celebration down in Texas.
He wants another chance.
There we go.
He couldn't get it over the net.
He's just not loose. Now he is. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, were the Rangers classy in welcoming Ron back, their all-time winningest manager.
They did a great job.
Rangers are in Philly, opening up a 2-game series, while the Braves take on the Mets for the first time tonight. 2-2 for Adam Duvall, Demerit and Swanson to follow. Bottom of the lineup did a pretty good job getting on base and creating opportunities for the offense down in Arlington. Let's see if Duvall can start a rally here. They play him up the middle with McNeil at second base. J.D. Davis hugging the line at 3rd.
They cannot get on the same page, it seems like, tonight, Bassitt and McCann.
I think McCann's run out of fingers.
Well, I think that's what he's doing. He's called like 8 pitches. He's probably like, what do you want?
Well, you can understand the care with which he's working. It's a 1-run game and a powerful man in the box. And Duvall takes one at the knees and strikes out for the second time. Didn't like it. Four of the 7 strikeouts have been looking tonight.
You know, that's the difference, too, when you're struggling like that. Those are the pitches that tend to get rang up. When you're feeling good, it's ball 4.
Travis Demeritte rolled out to third his first time up. Right now, he and McCann are just playing catch. Bassitt's Mets high in strikeouts is 8. His career high is 11. He has 7 with 1 out in the 5th. And only 55 pitches. The Braves have 3 hits. Riley's homer the only run. He is painting corners.
He is, isn't he?
Say it all the time when a pitcher's rolling. There's nothing for the Braves hitters to eliminate. It is a dogfight with every pitch. Breaking ball broke his bat. Little pop into left, but Canha read that well. And he'll battle the mist and the lights, and he'll make the catch for the second out. Dansby Swanson the hitter, but first a quick message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese, remixed by Zaxby's.
Dansby struck out his first time.
That one's a good bit off the plate.
Well, second time through the order, there ought not be any surprises with the strike zone of Chad Fairchild. Bassett's been around the plate all night, as has Max Fried. Taken low. It's 1-1. As I mentioned, Dansby's been doing a much better job of making consistent contact. His first at bat notwithstanding tonight. .357 average over his last 9 games, and this man's an important part of this lineup for obvious reasons. If he gets hot, you get Acuna, Olsen, and Riley hitting with men on base, which has not happened as much as the Braves would like here in the first 23 games. This guy knows what he's doing. And he's got a 2-2 count on Dansby Swanson. Wow. Ball 3. The whole Mets team was walking to the dugout. It must have sounded like a ball. Bassett's walking off thinking the inning's over. Instead, it's a full count.
Well, yeah, definitely bottom part of the zone, but somewhat possibly a makeup call. I mean, that first pitch was 4 or 5 inches off the plate.
So now he has to get his adrenaline back. 3-2 count for Swanson. A swing on the house here. And it's out of play into the upper deck. How good has Max Fried and Chris Bassitt been tonight? This is the first 3-ball count. It's been a pitching masterclass and a 2-1 game. And a 2-out walk. Instead of strike 3, it's ball 4, and now they've got to face Acuna with a man aboard.
Well, that ball was definitely low on that one. Good eye by Dansby.
Only the second walk from Bassitt all year. And now he's in the stretch with Ronald, who has struck out and legged out an infield hit. This would be a perfect time for home run number 1. Ronald's last home run came last July 7th against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He hurt his knee a couple of days later in Miami.
And this could be a time where he's might have lost a little bit of composure, Chip, thinking he had strike 3 in the bag. All of a sudden he's kind of on the defense now.
And Bertie, we've seen a lot of seeming indecision between McCann and Bassitt, not to mention the strike 3 call that wasn't and ball 4 that was. What are you seeing from him now?
Yeah, I'm frustrated too. I mean, but your infielders don't want to see this. Your catcher doesn't want to keep putting down signs. It gets very frustrating. So if you're a pitcher, you have to come up with a sign that you give to the catcher to let him know what you want to throw. Working fast, he's having a good game. You just want to be in a rhythm, and when you shake and shake and shake and step off, it takes you out of that rhythm and frustrates everyone.
1 ball, no strikes. Thank you, Bertie, for Ronald Acuna. And he gets hit. That's not the Marlins, it's the Mets. Acuna hit by a pitch.
I think all of a sudden Bassitt's lost his composure a little bit since that strike 3 call.
It was not just a strike 3 call that wasn't. I mean, he took 3-4 steps to the dugout thinking the inning's over, and now he's got a big mess.
Right off the pad. Just a ball that got away from him on a 2-seamer.
Well, we said it earlier in the game, partner. In a game like this, little things will be very big. A wild pitch has scored a run. Now you've got non-strike 3 and then ball 4, and now after the hit batsman, you've got Matt Olson up, who's itching to get this game tied. Great speed aboard for the Braves here with 2 outs. First inning, they've had more than 1 man on base.
And maybe the right guy up at the right time. Hit a long foul ball homer, a guy that's due for a big knock.
Outfield very deep. It's early May, but yes, it feels and sounds like October.
I think you know it. These Mets fans are sick of the Braves last year coming back. They thought they had the division, and they won their 4th straight in a row.
A hit ties the game. Another shake from Bassitt, who's ready with an 0-1 pitch. Bassitt was rolling along to start this 4th inning. He's up to 69 pitches. And Matt Olson an even count with 2 outs. I mean, this is amazing. For a guy that's pitching as well as he is, the indecision is
but it's gotten worse as it's gone on. I felt like early you saw it here or there, but now the last really 2 innings there's been a lot of indecision.
And he's not the same guy after ball 4 to Dansby. 2-1.
He's just had a tough time. It's like getting his concentration back. Sure. Pitching, when you're doing that, all of a sudden you're just laser focused, and it's almost like he shut it down for a second.
The runners lead, first and second. The pitch is a broken bat, little pop toward third, and Davis is there, and that will retire the side. Bassett with a long look in. He said my bad to Chad Fairchild, but he preserves a 1-run lead. Country this week, tune in to watch your Atlanta Braves and join us as we honor the life of Hank Aaron with stories of the impact he had on those around him. Plus, our coverage of a full week of events celebrating his legacy, which expanded beyond the baseball field. Hank Aaron Week, all week long during our Braves telecasts on Bally Sports Southeast. Braves had a chance with 2 outs, but Matt Olson popped out to end that threat. Now Max Fried will face 8-9-1 for the Mets. He's down a run. It's 2-1 game with Jeff McNeil leading off. Bunt try. Fried glove flip and not in time. Four-hit day yesterday. McNeil has his first here.
Yeah, perfect. Right down the line. Max, knowing he's quick, athletic fielder, was not able to get to that ball.
That's how you hit in the 360s.
Yeah.
He's 1 for 2 tonight. And now McCann, the batter. McCann thrown out by Dansby Swanson. Fried would love another ground ball here. And a chance to turn 2. McCann 1 for 15 now against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, definitely good double play candidate here for Max.
Low for ball 1. Not seeing as many dramatic shifts with Max Fried on the mound. Players are playing their opponents a little more traditionally on the defensive side with Max working. Let's see if it pays off here. Fly ball right center. Duvall a great jump. There's the grab, but no return throw to first.
Well, I think with Max, Chip, when you think about it, he's got a really good idea of where he wants to put the ball. And when he does, again, like I said, I love that Ozzy's not left to the second base bag, because what's he trying to do to righties? Pound them in. So if you pound them in and you jam them, where's that ball usually go? Second base. So you see Ozzy over there more.
And the shift, as sound as it is in certain circumstances, depends on the pitcher being able to hit a spot.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. Max kind of knows what he wants to do with it, so he's one of those guys, when you're kind of the ace of the staff, you have a little bit more say than some of the other people.
Brandon Nimmo is 0 for 2. Tough man to double up. And Fried, get me over strike. You can see McNeil leaning at first base, but as Fried came set, he was headed back to first base. Doesn't get picked off. Max has one of the best pickoff moves in the major leagues. Check of the runner.
Well, you know what he does so well too, Chip? He mixes it up. He'll do slide step. He'll do that slow like he just did, go to the plate. So it's so hard as a base runner to get a read. If you go first move, he can just throw over there to first majority of the time. If you try to go first move and he slide steps you, you're in trouble.
No balls and a strike for the Mets leadoff man, Brandon Nimmo. There's an idea of what McNeil is looking at from Max Fried. brings it home and downstairs. Bertie, what makes Max's pickoff move so difficult to pick up?
Oh, it's so good. I love the way he hangs. He'll just sit there. He may go to first. He may go home. The runner has to wait. He's nervous. He goes back to the bag sometimes when he goes home. And there, right there, he quick pitched home. And I know he didn't hit his spot, but just the brilliance, the mix-up of all the moves. I'm jealous because I'm right-handed and couldn't do any of that.
Swing and a miss by Nimmo. Chased the high heat. 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Fried. It's 1-2.
Well, great pitch. That's the pitch he hasn't been able to catch up on all night, too. That fastball.
Fried's ready now. And here it is.
That's another thing I want to say, guys, is when he mixes it up, a lot of times you'll see pitchers that will lose stuff going home because they're so worried about the runner. But he has the ability to change his mechanics, quick pitch, slow pitch, whatever you want to call it, just really mix it up and not lose anything on that fastball or curve.
Well, he's pitched a brilliant game tonight. About to make his 69th pitch of the game to Brandon Nimmo in a 2-1 score. Game 1. And that just missed high, even count. That's the man Max has to solve. Mark Canha waits on deck. He's 2 for 2 with a homer.
So I was going to say, how about a ground ball right up the middle? Dansby can step on the bag and get a double play.
Look at Nimmo as he stands in the box. He is choked up a good 2-3 inches on the bat. Little dribbler. Olsen's going to fire to Riley, who covers the bag at second. Good play. The Braves get the lead runner. And now Nimmo, a fast man at first in front of Canha, but now there are 2 outs.
Just like McNeil again, though, you kind of switching fast guy for fast guy, knowing that you got a great move, good pitch, running it in.
So d'Arnaud and Fried talking strategy. First look at Canha for the Braves in this great rivalry matchup. What do you think Max does in this situation?
Well, last time he threw that first pitch fastball and he jumped all over it. The time before, he really was kind of more patient and he hit a changeup. I personally like to see Max try to kind of bury maybe that cutter in on his hand some. Something to brush him off the plate.
Canha, an ideal number 2 hitter, a .380 on base percentage the last 4 years. He's been on base twice tonight. And a good choice for Fried. Canha took a curve for a strike. So Canha with a 7-game hitting streak that he'll carry into the doubleheader tomorrow. Shaved off a corner.
Caught just the outside corner. Seen Chad Fairchild give that a couple times tonight.
Well, if he's doing it for both sides, you can't complain about that. Now will Fried triple up with a breaking ball? Let's see. Fans have the wave going. Good crowd on a chilly night. They are loud and into it. Game 1 between the Braves and Mets tonight. The 0-2. Tried to get him to expand his strike zone. And this was an old ambush job last time up.
Well, those high home runs just into the party deck. First pitch fastball in, and you agree he went right after that first pitch.
Canha's first homer as a Met. And his 5th hit on the homestand. Started with the Phillies. Nimmo at first, 0-2 pitch. Here it is. That a little high. Max is asking in or up from Chad Fairchild, who recoiled after d'Arnaud caught it.
Pretty good pitch. I think if I'm Max too, I'd like to know, was that in or up?
So it's 1-2 now.
He wants that slider. He's getting to it. He's throwing him nothing but curveballs and 2 fastballs.
Here we go. This is what the Mets do again. They do not strike out a lot. 4th fewest strikeouts as an offense in the National League entering play tonight. Max Fried has 3 hard-earned punch-outs here in Game 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got him that time. He expanded the zone, and Canha's perfect night comes to a close. And we are through 5 in Gotham. What a game. Riley, Ozuna, and Albies go to work. Braves are down a run at Citi Field in New York.
The greener life.
Austin Riley with the lone run for the Braves, a home run in the 4th. So we're back in Flushing. Mets 2-1, top of the 6th. And let's take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Austin Riley gets a hanger from Chris Bassett, exit velocity 108. Smash into that back part of the first deck at 418. Continues his torrid pace with extra base hits.
Hit one into Frank Courland here in New York, huh?
Yeah. Well, I've gone second back.
Well, how about a repeat performance of that for Austin Riley? He goes second deck here, but it's foul. Strike 1 for the Braves third baseman. .29 homers for the Braves, 24 of them solos. We'll take another solo home run here in the 6th inning off Bassett, who is massaging a 1-run lead.
Got to believe him and McCann met for a minute in the dugout, try to figure out.
There's a bullet into left field. Austin Riley has another hit.
Man, he just continues to get after it offensively.
Let's get the line moving now.
Yeah, right. All 3 balls for Austin tonight squared up. First time up, actually hit a bullet up the middle that McNeil made a great play on in the first.
So the tying run is on for Atlanta. Here's Ozuna. Marcel is 0 for 2. Marcel, a lifetime .299 hitter in this ballpark. And downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes.
See him trying to run that 2-seamer. Wants to get Marcel to roll over for a double play.
That was taken low. 2-0. I don't think anybody's real thrilled with the strike zone right now from Chad Fairchild.
That one was below the zone, though. I mean, that's, like you said, Bassett kind of apologized there in the 5th. He's gotten a good bit off the plate. Maybe not down, but side to side.
Jammed, popped up. right side. Alonso no play. And I thought I heard a tick after the point of contact. I think Ozuna backswing might have gotten a piece of McCann with the bat.
But that's him trying. He's trying to stay through the ball. That jammed him a little bit. Instead of rolling over, he's trying to get those hands going at Bassett.
Big hole right side for Ozuna. The pitch. Tried to fill it, and it's fouled away. Can you feel that when you're at the plate? Can you feel it, or is the result what tells you?
Sometimes you don't feel it, but for him talking to us the way he did last night and seeing these pitches here, he's feeling it for sure here. I mean, he's trying to hit the ball hard up the middle, and what that does is it'll help him lay off that two-seamer when it's in.
Even count. Little pop. He swung at ball 3. And that's going to be easy for McNeil, who lets it drop. And they will get the forced play at second. Smart play by O'Neill. Ozuna wisely ran after contact. If he hadn't, that might have been an easy double play. Instead, he and Riley trade places for Ozzie with 1 out.
Yeah, didn't hit it hard, but exactly, Chip, this is why you run the ball out.
So Ozzie Albies. When will Ozzie break out?
I'd see him gap one right here. Let him run.
Shoots it the other way. That's an excellent way to do it. Ozuna around second is going to stop there. And Ozzie Albies with a wise choice. Singles against the shift. Braves runners first and second, 1 out.
We've talked in the past, Chip, but I would love to see Ozzie do that a little bit more as he's not feeling good. Look, when he's going great, no issue. Swing it away, go for it. But when you've struggled like that for a while, that just snapped an 0 for 21 streak for Ozzie.
So you've got one of the hottest hitters on the team in the batter's box, and that is Travis d'Arnaud. He singled and popped out. d'Arnaud with 8 RBIs. Outfield deep for him. Ozuna the lead runner. And Bassett with traffic. Pitch is a strike. The Braves are at the moment 8 for their last 64 with a runner in scoring position. That's a 125 batting average. Got to change that. Here's a great chance. Pitch. Breaking ball rolled over foul. It's 0-2. Riley led off with a single. Ozuna a little pop up that turned into a forced play. Albies hit one the other way for a single. So first and second, 1 out in a 2-1 game. Right off his thumbs and into the seats. This guy's impressive. Again, the scouting reports you read will say nothing blows you away. I think the exact opposite is true. What blows you away is how he is around the plate and knows how to pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why he was so successful in Oakland, and why when he got traded here, I thought it was a great pickup for the Mets. Guy can pitch. I think take his first inning out against the Giants, he ran into some trouble. Other than that, he's been really shut down all year.
0-2. Little flare down the line. That is a fair ball. Here comes Ozuna around third. He will score. d'Arnaud on his way to second. It's a bloop double, and the Braves have tied this game at 2. d'Arnaud back in New York ties game 1. Boy, did this offense need that.
Well, and how ironic is it that our 2 hits were kind of just shot the other way, not hit hard at all. Incredible piece of hitting by Travis. Couldn't have placed it any better.
Good things happen when you put the ball in play.
And now you give a chance with 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. A struggling hitter in Adam Duvall. Even a long sac fly here, Chip, gives you that feeling. Okay, I had something go my favor.
So 2nd and 3rd, infield in for the Mets. And Duvall, who didn't like the strike zone last time, thought strike 3 was called low. Takes one at the kneecaps on the first pitch. Crowd in New York has gotten quiet as the Braves have a great chance to take their first lead of the series. High fly ball. Nimmo coming in. Will Ozzie try to tag? He's at the bag. There's the catch. He's coming. Here comes the throw. It's going to be cut off. The run is in. The Braves have the lead. Darno is going to be tagged out.
Yeah, at that point, though, you'll trade that run right there. You know he was going to go. And again, there's something positive for Adam. Gives the Braves the lead 3-2, headed to the bottom of the 6th. Back to New York, where the Braves grab the lead 3-2, head of the bottom of the 6th. Take a look at the big plate in that inning. Adam Duvall, not so deep, but Brandon Nimmo, shallow. Ozzie Albies' great speed's going to challenge him here. Probably would have beat the throw anyways, Chip, but good job by Travis d'Arnaud trying to draw the throw. You trade an out for a run at that point in this game to take the lead. Great all-around play, and now Max Fried's got the lead 3-2.
And the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up for New York in the 6th. Little things mean a lot in a game like this. I'll explain more after the first pitch to Lindor, who's 0 for 2. Braves had 2 base runners on in the 6th inning. They put the ball in play. No strikeouts in the 6th. The bloop double, the sac fly. And now you turn things over to Fried and you start thinking about this Braves bullpen, which has been so good. You like where you sit. Max is at 78 pitches. He has struck out 4 and has scattered 4 New York hits.
I mean, right here for Max, team gave you the lead back. You can get yourself through the 6th. You set up the gauntlet of the bullpen you want, or if it's a quick 6, you can even go back out there for 7.
Nothing in 2. Lindor awaits and takes way high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pete Alonso will be the next hitter. What a game. Swing and a miss. Slow curve, and Lindor will be thrown out. Max Fried has his 5th strikeout, 2 in a row, and a great start after the Braves gave him the lead.
Look at that big breaker. No chance for Lindor to lay off that pitch. Throw it off the high fastball.
Here's Alonso. He has popped out and he has struck out. Braves have a 3-2 lead after a 2-run 6th. This is where you see the horses really take over in a ball game. This is where aces are at their best. They get the lead. You're in the mid to late innings, going through the heart of the order for a 2nd or 3rd time, and you drop the hammer.
Yep.
Fried still looking very fresh at his 84th pitch on the night. And a cue shot foul. He's ahead of Alonso.
Well, there's a slider on him. Like I said, all night has switched speeds on Pete Alonso. Last time finished him off with a fastball down at the bottom part of the zone. It's been a good ball game tonight. Very entertaining.
2 long solo homers. Max Fried pitching like an ace in game 1, with 2 to follow tomorrow. The pitch up the middle, but right into the shift. Ozzie patiently awaits and flips to first, and Alonso is 0 for 3. 2 up, 2 down. Let's enjoy a quick message from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Escobar stands in the way of a 1-2-3 inning for Max Fried here in the 6th. Max has retired him twice.
Tell you what, the way Max is pitching right now, if he gets Escobar here on 3, 4, 5 pitches, I'd love to see him come back out for the bottom part. Bottom part of the lineup, bottom of the 7th.
Yep, 6, 7, 8, 9 would follow Escobar. On the lineup card presented by Glenn Sherlock today. Again, Buck Showalter serving a 1-game suspension for the Mets. Doubleheader tomorrow because the first 2 against New York in the first week of the season were canceled while baseball settled the labor dispute. And now the 1-1 pitch. Has him popping it up right side. d'Arnaud, long run near the warning track and the on deck circle, won't have a play.
Braves fan got it. It's a true fan right there.
Yeah. And a
front
brave
row,
one.
that's what I'm saying. Front row. He gave up the ball too. I guess that guy might have gave him the tickets.
Either that or he doesn't want to hear the abuse for the
Yeah.
final 3 innings of the game. All right, Max, finish him off. Escobar is in a 1-2 hole. The wind, and here it is. One headed for the seats off to the right. He struck him out. 6 strikeouts for Fried. 3 of the last 4 are punched out. He's getting stronger as the game's getting longer. To the 7th we go. Shutdown inning for Max Fried. Braves 3, Mets 2. Prisoner of a home run at Busch Stadium. Paul Goldschmidt hit a first-inning home run in that game, and it stood up 1-0 the final for the St. Louis Cardinals over their cross-state rivals in Kansas City.
Get a big Rob home run, but couldn't score any runs.
So a 1-run affair at Busch. Here in New York, it's a 1-run game for the Braves, who lead 3-2. Demerit, Swanson, and Acuna coming up in the 7th inning. Travis 0 for 2. He flied out last time up, and Bassett almost hit him. 1 ball, no strikes. Max Fried coming out for the 7th.
Nope. He's getting hugs. My guess is no.
That hits the outside corner.
Feel like he was getting stronger, but at 90 pitches, again, when you have Matzik, Smith, and Jansen in the bullpen, I get it too.
Well, he was great through 6. If indeed he's finished, 6 strikeouts for him.
The whole thing is if you send him back out and all you're letting him do is if somebody gets on, he's done, then yeah, for me, go ahead and bring Matzik in.
Travis didn't get that with a big swing. It's 1-2. Well, look, you've got a great bullpen for a reason. You might as well unleash him against New York. Braves trying to do something that's been rare this year. as he didn't get a breaking ball and is out on strikes. Braves are 1-12 this year when they give up the game's first run. That happened tonight, but the Braves have come back to take a 3-2 lead. And Bassitt now 8 strikeouts in his first game against the Braves.
Think about Max Fried going back that second inning. He had a little bit of trouble. Third, gave up a home run, and when kind of hit that home run after that, the only thing he gave up after that was a McNeil bunt single.
So he does what aces do. Kept you in the game, got the lead, gave him a shutdown inning. Now he turns it over to the pen.
Be nice to get a couple insurance runs for him.
You bet. Dansby struck out and walked tonight. And takes another strike. We're going to see this guy a lot. We're going to see Max Scherzer a lot. We're going to see Carlos Carrasco a lot.
Yep.
But they're going to see our guys too. Remember, the Braves won 10 of 19 games head-to-head with the Mets last season. To knock them off the perch, they're going to have to do something like that again this year. As this one's on the ground to Lindor. And a perfect throw for out number 2. Mentioned a couple times we've got a doubleheader tomorrow. And we'll break that down for you on the stretch presented by Georgia Natural Gas. As we said in our opening comments, the Braves have their top 4 starters lined up for this 4-game series for Brian Snitker, which will be completed in 48 hours. I can't remember that happening for the Braves in a long while.
Or us.
Well, we're always ready. What else are we going to do?
It's a lot of talking.
So rest the vocal cords tonight, pal. Get your rest.
Vitamin C.
Hasn't failed us yet. Here's Acuna, an infield hit. And didn't get the breaking ball. Is that the last pitch that comes for a hitter when you don't have much swing time in spring training, or in this case of Ronald, a rehab stint?
I just think, again, Ronald has not seen this type of pitching yet, and so it's going to take a few.
Curveball wallop straight away center. Nimmo back, turns the wrong way, leaps up, and he hauls it in at the wall. What a catch by Nimmo. He turned the wrong way, made a great catch at the 408 side.
Wow. That time we were just saying that Ronald gets a hanger and absolutely hammers it to center. Unbelievable play.
Wouldn't have gone out. It might have gone off the wall, and Bassitt loves that result. 3 up, 3 down in the 7th. Braves by a run. Let's send you to the stretch.
Yeah, and it goes to show you how strong he is. He actually got in on him a little bit too. And like you said, the fact that he recognized it, put a good swing on it, good things to come.
Well, good things to come, we hope, out of the Braves bullpen. We mentioned the Mets' struggles against left-handed pitching. Not a surprise that a left-hander's the first out of the chute. Tyler Matzek, who pitched 7 innings against the Mets last year to a 1.29 ERA, is the man in to relieve Max Fried. Chris Bassitt down a run. 3-2 score. It'll be Davis, Marte, and McNeil for New York. The night shift, so great for the Braves in the playoffs last year. They've been terrific in the early going this year. The Atlanta bullpen started the season with a 3.69 ERA in April. They've pitched 5 1/3 scoreless innings so far in May. And Jeff, they've been a strikeout bunch, 106 of them in 88 1/3 innings.
And they're finding Davis's weak spot right now. Max Fried got him up with the fastball to strike out in the 2nd inning, and now you see Matzek living at the top of the zone.
Davis whiffed in the 2nd. He popped out to first in the 4th. He leads off the 7th in a 1-run game. Swing and a miss. Blew him away. 96 under the hands. 1 out.
And I love that. When you get 0-2 for a reason, instead of trying to trick them, go to something else, go to your strength. What is that? Fastball lower part of the zone. Easy strikeout for Tyler Matzek.
Starling Marte is the hitter. Marte has doubled and scored. That came on a wild pitch in the second inning. He struck out in the fourth, so he's 1 for 2. Marte hitting .208 against left-handed pitching. Look, these are all small sample sizes. We're a month into the season, but when you think about the composition of the Braves staff and relief corps, with Fried, with Smith, with Minter, with Matzek, that is really something exciting to think about, in particular against this Mets club. We'll see if it works out that way over the final 8 outs. No balls and a strike on a check swing to Marte. That's way high. It's 1-1. Braves trying to pick up a game in the division standings. They started play 6 back of New York. The Mets start tonight 3 ahead of the second place Marlins. Don't want to walk this guy. Marte's got 4 stolen bases. It's 2-1. Fly ball, shallow center. Duvall comes charging in, says he's got it, and he does. And the Braves Gold Glover puts that away easily. There's out number 2. Birdie. Amazing that Duvall was able to keep his concentration with a 737 flying about 10 feet away from his head.
You got it, Chip Hayes. Broke in with the Mets way back when, and one of the things they told me right away was planes go over all the time, and do not throw the ball when you start to hear the jet. If so, and it's a fly ball, you won't be able to hear during pop fly communication. But if it's really, really loud, it's okay to pitch then, but because the time of the pop fly, it will have gone past. Little stuff, guys.
Yeah.
It's a good point. We've talked about little things all night tonight. They've made a big difference for the Braves in a 3-2 game. As McNeil bunted safely for a hit last time up, showed it here, and takes way outside. 1 ball, no strikes. This guy has really been a thorn in the side of the Braves. Remember a couple of years ago when Brian Snitker was a coach for the All-Star game, he walked up to Jeff McNeil in the National League locker room, grabbed him by the lapels and said, "Who are you? Because we can't get you out."
Sometimes you just have guys on certain teams that do that to you. Well, he's just such a different hitter than, you know, a lot of guys. He kind of slaps the ball around. He's more of a pesky hitter. Makes you work.
Drew Smith and Trevor May are loosening in the Mets bullpen. Chris Bassett threw 7 really good innings tonight, but he's on the short end of the game at this point. 2 balls, no strikes. And you hear McNeil saying, "Nope, nope, nope," got the bat back. And all of a sudden it's 3-0 with a lefty-lefty advantage, presumably for Tyler Matzek. McCann waits on deck. He's the Mets catcher. He made him throw a strike, and Tyler delivered. 3-1 the count. Max Fried, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks. He struck out 6. 27 straight innings for Max without a walk. He's gunning for his 3rd win. The pitch. It's a beauty. 95 on the corner, almost unhittable.
I was going to say, if you can put that same location right there, even maybe a little bit up in the zone, good chance you're getting strike 3 right here.
So the pitch of decision, here it is, and he lost him. McNeil walks with 2 out. So McCann will be the hitter. First, a word from Marietta Toyota.
In Marietta, businesses come and go, and some remain and grow. Visit us at MariettaToyota.com to learn why it's always better in Marietta.
James McCann is 0 for 2. And 1 for 16 against left-handed pitching.
Well, and this is a perfect matchup because Tyler Matzek better numbers against right-handers than left-handers.
That one bounced up and no advance. McNeil didn't move up. So that's 2 base running mistakes by the Mets in a close game. Remember, Nimmo in the first inning didn't advance on a fly ball. McNeil doesn't move up on a ball that skidded 30 feet away from d'Arnaud.
I don't know what happened on this. If you didn't see it, that was pretty clear. The ball went a good ways away. Not only that, Chip, let's see. I mean, he still could have gone then and got there. That's 2 of their better base runners, too, making mistakes in Nimmo and McNeil.
Little things. 1 ball, no strikes. Out of play, even count. You could see Joey Cora dancing in that third base coaching box saying go, 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 but McNeil waited too long. And the importance of that play is obvious. If McCann gets a hit, that might cost the Mets a run. One ball, 1 strike.
That's where Matzek's so tough. We saw it all postseason last year. It's just at the upper part of the zone. And the thing is, you see it great out of his hand. So you think you're right on it. Next thing you know, it's by you. And if you do square it up sometimes, it's straight in the air.
So 1 more strike to get. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here it is. That one got away. And it hit him. So on a 1-2 pitch, Tyler Matzek hits McCann. And now they're at first and second. 2 gift base runners, and Brandon Nimmo is coming up.
This is the, don't love the pitch selection here. You spike the slider your first pitch. And then you threw 2 fastballs right by him, which we saw Max Fried do a couple times tonight too, and you try to trick him.
So a couple of opposing hitters have been hit on balls that bounce in the last 2 series. And now this crowd smells blood in New York. 2 on, 2 out for Nimmo. Matzek got the first 2 easily. McNeil walked. Tyler got him to 3-2. Made a bad pitch for ball 4. Now he hits McCann after getting ahead in the count. So he's not as crisp as he would like, and he's about to throw his 19th pitch. D'Arnaud spotted something, needs to calm Tyler down here. 2 balls, no strikes. You've got Cano waiting next, and Rick Kranitz is going to pop out too. Colin McHugh's getting ready in a big hurry in case Cano comes up.
More than anything, just trying to calm him down right now. I usually don't see Tyler get rattled too much, but Rick Kranitz got ejected yesterday's game. Back out there today.
So Nimmo ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Remember, this is a Mets team that has been very good in these run-scoring spots with 2 outs. Against the Cardinals in St. Louis, they were down 2-0, down to their last strike, scored 5 in the 9th to win. If you have a chance to drive the stake home, you'd better do it. 2 balls and a strike. The runners lead. McNeil at second. The pitch. Didn't chase it. 3-1. Will it be Matzek retiring Nimmo, or will it be Canha versus McHugh? We're about to find out. The bases are loaded. So Snit wants Travis d'Arnaud to go to the mound and talk with Matzek. That'll give McHugh a few more warm-up tosses, if indeed that's the route Snit decides to go. As you said, Matzek's been better against right-handed hitters, but not in this spot.
Walk, hit batter, walk. It'd be different if maybe there was a strikeout or 2 in between, but I think this is the right move right here.
So Matzek got the first 2 outs. The Mets load the bases without benefit of a hit in the bottom of the 7th.
Be the day. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
We've got action in the home 7th. The Mets have loaded the bases with 2 outs, 2 walks, and a hit batsman. And so much, Jeff, of the art of managing is thinking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. And that's exactly what Brian Snitker has done, getting Collin McHugh ready for the departed Tyler Matzek.
Well, Matzek with a strikeout, a fly ball, and then, as I said, a walk, hit a batter, and a walk. And you have Collin McHugh down here, who is about to face Canha. 1 for 11 with 5 strikeouts career against them. So going to the matchup.
Don't often see Matzek struggle as he did, but
it happens.
It does. And let's see if McHugh's passed his prologue and can retire Canha here and keep this game 3-2 in favor of the Braves. Canha's had a super night. He's homered, he's singled, he's also struck out. He has no margin for error here. The bases are loaded and 2 men out. So the Braves didn't want this matchup, but if they're forced to have it, this is the one they want. Remember, Canha ambushed a pitch from Fried and homered in the 3rd inning. McHugh's going to work out of the windup. And he starts him with a strike. Smart play. The Braves walk 2 and hit a batter, make him throw a strike, and he did. All bets off, I would imagine, now.
Well, McHugh's a veteran. He's done these type situations before, so it's not like you're bringing a young kid into a crazy situation. He's been in these before and got out of them, and great numbers against Canha.
Speedy runners on the bases, with the exception of the catcher McCann at second. The 0-1 pitch. Right there, strike 2.
And boo all they want. Those are 2 cutters right down Broadway.
So this is one of the pivotal moments of this season series in the 7th inning of Game 1. Can McHugh shut the door here? He's way ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Fast runner at third, McNeil, has time called. McHugh ready. Here it is. And d'Arnaud did exactly what he has to do. He body blocked that ball into the left-hand batter's box. No chase. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, good job.
Traditional catcher stance for d'Arnaud with the bases loaded and 2 outs here. Mets scored a run on a wild pitch in the second. They've got 2 walks and a hit batter here in the 7th. They're down a run. So here we go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He got him. Tyler Matzek, the happiest man in the Braves dugout. Nerves of ice. Colin McHugh blows away Mark Canha. The Mets load the bases without a hit, and he strikes out to preserve a 3-2 Atlanta lead in Game 1. Well, a huge moment in the early season series. McHugh strikes out Mark Canha, and look at who's first in line to greet him. That's Tyler Matzek, and that's our T-Mobile coverage cam. For the best coverage in the game, check out T-Mobile.
How many times has Matzek picked up someone else, and this time McHugh picked up him? And that's the most emotion I've kind of seen from that dugout all year. Again, coming up here to face a team like the Mets. Sometimes that can lock you in, Chip. Get that fire burning again.
Trevor May is the newest pitcher for New York. So the stat sheet didn't lie for Colin McHugh. Canha now 1 for 12 against him, 6 strikeouts. Been a rough start for Trevor May. And this trio he faces has given him trouble too. Little insurance wouldn't hurt in a 3-2 Atlanta game in the 8th inning. Olson is 0 for 3 tonight. And that buzzed the tower inside. Bassett went 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 8 strikeouts, a walk, and the mammoth homer to Austin Riley. As Olson goes to work, the pitch is high. 3 balls and a strike.
See if Matt can time up a fastball right here. Get something driven in the gap, something hard.
Last 3 outings for Trevor May, 4 runs in 3 1/3 innings and 6 hits. The pitch. And a great start. Leadoff walk. And the New York faithful not happy with May as he's got trouble immediately. Got to cash these in now. Here's Riley. He's got a 2-hit night.
Good job by Matt taking that pitch. 3-1. Be easy to try to get yourself going. Chase out of the zone, but he did not. Pass the baton.
Riley is 2 for 2 against Trevor May, including a homer. He's also walked against the king-sized Mets relief pitcher. Leadoff walks late usually mean good things for an offense. Let's hope that's the case for the Braves. He's only walked 3 guys, but the third, Matt Olson, to lead off the inning. Missed again.
Yeah, I mean, right now, let him bury himself.
Again, Glenn Sherlock, acting manager. Buck Showalter suspended tonight. Braves trying to win round 1 with New York. 3-0 pitch. And even though we're in Queens, they know all about a Bronx cheer. As May finally finds the strike zone, 3 balls and a strike. 23,413 officially at Citi Field for Game 1. Off the end of the bat, little flare into center, but that'll carry out to Nimmo. And Olson back to first with 1 out. Here's Ozuna. Nice comeback for May from a 3-1 count to get the Braves third baseman. Ozuna reached on the force out. Remember, that was a little pop off his bat that McNeil tried to turn into a Deke double play. Ozuna wisely headed down the line as the Mets settled for the force at second. And then Ozuna scored on the bloop double down the right field line from Travis d'Arnaud. And then Ozzie Albies, who singled in the inning, scored on a sac fly from Adam Duvall. And that's where we stand now, 3-2 Atlanta. Popped up, jammed himself. Alonso and McNeil, and it's Alonso in front of the second baseman who makes the play. And Ozuna's the second out.
I think that lazy of a fly ball, the communication would have been on point for somebody, but not the case.
So a promising start to the inning. Its fate rests in the hands of Ozzie Albies. Maybe that little soft single the other way will get him going. That base hit snapped in 0 for 21 at the plate. And his run the difference in the game. The pitch. Back out of play to the left. Strike one for Ozzie Albies. Ozzie looking for his first hit against May in his career. And he's got an even count. A lot of room in left center if Albies can go that way. Olson's got a very short lead at first. Davis way off the line at third for the Mets. The pitch. Oh, what a rip. Fouled it straight back just underneath, and the Braves are down to their last strike in the 8th.
Ozzie kind of like Matt, just a tick off somewhere along the way. He's missing some pitches that usually you don't see him miss too many fastballs.
The 1-2 way high. Well, we didn't see anything like that from Bassett tonight. When he got the 2 strikes, it was all business. There were no waste pitches from him.
So he had the 20-30 pitch after that strike 3 he thought he had that kind of rattled him a little bit.
The next Ozzie is on the ground, slowly hit. McNeil charges, better hurry, and there's no play. Infield hit for Ozzie Albies. He gingerly makes his way down the first base line. He's all right, and the inning will continue for Atlanta. A walk and now an infield single with 2 outs.
Now they got the ground ball he wanted, but McNeil playing so far back, he was on the grass pretty much. I'm sorry, you have that. Look where he's playing. He's on the grass. You're never going to get Ozzie on a ball like that. Break for the Braves. Now a base hit and another run.
I beg your pardon. Good base running by Olson too, not to wander too far off the bag as McNeil thought about throwing behind him. So here's d'Arnaud. Travis has singled, and that soft double down the right field line. They've got the game tied for the Braves. He's 2 for 3. So Albies' first hit against May, an infield single. d'Arnaud 0 for 1 with a walk. A.J. Minter getting ready for the bottom of the 8th. Olsen trying to extend his lead at second base. He'd be the first to tell you he's not the fastest base runner.
Good news is, hopefully he has learned a little bit. With 2 strikes, I got to continue to go. Right now, d'Arnaud's got to be telling himself, I got to see the ball down. May has missed up a lot tonight in this 8th.
And he's about to throw his 20th pitch. A ball and a strike. 2 on, 2 outs. Braves by a run. Good call, Jeff. Laid off a 94-mile-an-hour high fastball. Two and one. Well executed slider evens it up. Duvall would be next. Well, you're right about Travis. You said that in Texas. He looks so much more comfortable at the plate. Has his timing back, healthy.
Bat speed too. Yeah. I think that's the big thing. You know, when you're not healthy, Chip, your bat speed's not there. When your bat speed's not there, what do? You got to cheat a little bit. Then you start swinging at things you're not normal swinging at.
Again, the 2-2 pitch. Well, now a real advantage for Atlanta. The runners will get a head start. d'Arnaud would love to reach any way he can. He's the only major league player with 61 or more plate appearances without a walk this year.
Yeah, my type of player.
Runners go. Swing and a shot down the left field line. Did he keep it fair? He did. That's going to score 2. A 3-hit game for d'Arnaud, and the Braves have insurance. What a night for the former Met.
See, Chip, who needs to walk when you can hit a 2-run double? What a beautiful swing here. So I said, continue to lay off those high fastballs. I think he broke his bat on this one, but was able to pull the hands in enough.
So as we said, Jeff, the leadoff walk comes to pass.
Missed his location, trying to go away. And again, gets the ball in somewhat. But Travis able to turn on it and keep the hands inside. And with the runners going, Ozzie scores easy. This will send some fans walking up the aisles.
So Jeremy Hefner, the Mets pitching coach, talking things over with May, whose struggles continue. A walk, an infield hit, and a double. 3 hits, 3 RBIs for Travis d'Arnaud, Jeff, and tonight, at long last, the Braves get a couple of hits with runners in scoring position, which they've so desperately needed.
And who's the man both times? Travis d'Arnaud. Double down the right field line, and now a double down the left field line.
So it's a 5-2 Atlanta game for Adam Duvall, whose sac fly broke a 2-2 tie. That came in the 6th inning. Duvall with 11 RBIs. He's faced May twice and walked twice.
And how many times do we see a leadoff walk come back to haunt you?
It's astounding how often it happens, and the Mets will rue their chances. They had them loaded without benefit of a hit and could not come through. And now Minter will have a 3-run lead in the 8th with the Mets 3, 4, 5 men coming up. So with the damage done now, May acting as his own reliever. 26 pitches in the inning, with d'Arnaud at second in a 3-run Atlanta game. Broken bat, fly ball center, and that'll be playable for Nimmo. And Jeff, you're right, the leadoff walk leads to a 2-run Atlanta rally. It's May for Trevor. And he's not enjoying the walk-off as the Braves add under their lead. 3 hits, 3 RBIs for d'Arnaud. 5-2 Atlanta over the Mets in Game 1 at Citi Field.
Our coverage begins on Bally Sports tomorrow at 2:30. How about that? 2 big righties with the big curve, the high heat. Charlie Morton, Kyle Wright. You see the numbers. Talking to Brian Snitker earlier today, we said, hey, how did you decide who went Game 1 and who gets Game 2? Because as a former starting pitcher, you don't always like to wait. And he said that was easy. The honor went to veteran Charlie Morton. He got to choose. And he said to Kyle Wright, young man, someday, very soon, I expect you to have a great career and you will get to have first choice. Now, because they're similar, I'm pretty sure Kyle Wright will be taking notes. Guys.
Great report, Paul Bird. Hopefully they're taking notes on an excellently pitched game for Atlanta tonight.
Birdie, do you like to pitch first or second game?
Oh, absolutely. You want to pitch first.
Yeah. So you can relax the second game.
I mean, it's kind of like waiting to be executed. You're just sitting there watching. You can't wait to take the field. You want to guard against being worn out.
Are you speaking from experience, Paul?
I've never had to wait.
I don't really know where to go with that, Birdie.
On to A.J. Minter.
Yes, and Lindor leads off the 8th. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
Guys, it's really cold down here in the well. I'm getting a little delirious.
And you didn't bring a jacket either.
Nah. Hey, but you know what? Drew Jenkins, our great statistician in the truck, picked me up.
That's what teammates are for.
Yeah. This Atlanta championship sweatshirt that I'm told by a number of people on Twitter looks pretty sharp.
Nice.
Yeah.
Minter gets a strike over. For Francisco Lindor. Fried, Matzik, McHugh, now AJ. As we start the Mets 8th, Braves get a 2-run inning to extend their lead to 5-2. The pitch. Right back foul. It's 2-2. Lindor 1 for 5 against AJ head-to-head. Nobody on or out. The pitch. Driven to right. Acuna, though, had him played perfectly. And there's out number 1.
That's another great thing about having Ronald back. The outfield defense that you gain. Lindor doesn't have a lot of pop to right field, more of a pull hitter from that side. Played him shallow and caught this little line drive.
One other change for Atlanta. You've got Guillermo Heredia. He's checked in to play left with A.J. Minter entering the game. So the Braves have their all-hands outfield working with 1 out in the 8th inning. Here's Alonso 0 for 3. As we said, the Braves have their 4 horses lined up for this big series against the Mets. If they win tonight, they'll pull to within 5 of the division lead with 18 games left head-to-head. Atlanta only has to make 2 trips to New York, but they'll be busy trips. As Jeff said, 4 games in 3 days this time. 5 games in 4 days next time we come up. AJ's got a good fastball tonight. It's 1-2. Braves trying to win their 3rd game against the division. The Braves are 2-4 in the East. They've played the Nationals and the Marlins so far. New York 7-3 in divisional play. As we've reached 10 o'clock at Citi Field, the pitch. He swings and misses. Struck him out. 2 up, 2 down. Alonso whiffs for the 2nd time.
And his struggles continue against the Atlanta Braves. Another great job. See, this is what I like. Pitch before, what do? Climb the ladder, he swings, go right back to it, and you get a strike 3. Good pitch by AJ.
And now Escobar, the hitter, he's 0 for 3 and has struck out. And with the exception of McHugh versus Canha, it's been lefty, lefty, lefty from the Braves pitching staff tonight. That's in for a strike.
That's the other thing you like. He is filling up the zone right now with strikes. 10 pitches, 7 strikes.
Well, he's fresh. AJ hasn't pitched since April 27th against the Cubs. And now 15 strikeouts with 1 in this inning. He started play tied for 7th among all National League relievers. And that's, as we said, one of the strengths of this Braves bullpen. They can shut down rallies with strike 3. More than a strikeout per innings pitched. That's on the ground to Riley. That kicks off his glove. Doesn't panic. Long throw, and he got his man. Nice recovery by Austin Riley. He nails Escobar at first, and Minter has a perfect 1-2-3 8th inning. The bounces are starting to go the Braves' way in the Big Apple. 5-2 Atlanta. We go to the 9th. Well, in a game of big moments, we've had a whole lot of them. Mark Canha with a long home run, then Travis d'Arnaud a bloop double to tie the game. Great catch by Nimmo in center. Then the Braves bullpen. Colin McHugh strikes out Canha, and then another base hit from the Braves catcher. A 3-hit, 3 RBI night, and after 8, it's the Braves in Game 1 leading 5-2. Jeff,
this is going to happen 18 more times this year.
It's going to be great, isn't it?
2 great, intense teams.
So Adam Ottavino will start the 9th inning. Tell you what, the Braves made an adjustment in this game. Through 4 1/3 innings, 16 hitters, 7 struck out. Over the last 18 men to come to the plate, no strikeouts.
I think 2 things. I think you saw a little bit of an adjustment. Also, the hitters got to see Bassett a couple times. Never faced him before. That's when a guy's got that many pitches, it's tough. But I agree. I think you saw a little something. Ozzie poking the ball the other way.
And strike 3 will take care of Guillermo Heredia, who's retired on 3 pitches. Ottavino gets the first man in the 9th inning.
Well, there's one thing, if you've never faced Adam Ottavino before, that funky windup kind of crossfires. When he's on, he's one of the better relievers in baseball.
Ottavino a rough outing on the 30th of April against the Phillies. 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning and suffered the loss. So a low leverage situation for him here to try to get him back on the beam as he faces Dansby Swanson with 1 out. Righties, as you'd expect, have trouble with Ottavino. Lefties, though, are 7 for 16 against him.
When you see for a right-hander, you see the crossfire. Lefty, though, you can see it better. He's coming across his body. It gives you a lot more time to recognize.
Two 2-0 for the Braves shortstop, Dansby Swanson, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. He's made all the plays at shortstop tonight. Pitch. Nothing you can do with that.
No, and that's
perfect.
When he's going right, that's his tough pitch. He feels like he can throw that almost any time to the right-handed hitters. You see the big man, Kenley Jansen, getting ready down in the bullpen. 6 for 6 on the year.
Two balls, 2 strikes. That's some serious heat. Dansby's down on strikes, 2 up And 2 men down in the ninth. Kids giveaways are back this year. Every Sunday home game at Truist Park. The first 3,000 kids through the gates will get a free giveaway, like the Ronald Acuna Jr. sunglasses. You got to get a pair of those, Jeff.
Like them.
Mini Dansby Swanson bobblehead, the Blooper World Series bobblehead. That's a Francoeur family favorite. And many, many more. See all the giveaways and get your tickets now at braves.com/promos. Here's Ronald. He hit that deep drive to center that Nimmo caught up against the fence.
Come back in August and you hit that ball, there's a good chance it's a home run.
Couldn't check his swing. It's 0-2. In the ninth inning, Davis, Marte, and McNeil, bottom part of the order for the Mets. As Kenley Jansen getting ready. Ronald have that covered. Great to see Ronald hit this ball with authority. Just a super play in center by a fast defender, Brandon Nimmo.
Cold night like this, ball not carrying, awesome. Ronald thought he had his first one of the year.
Ottavino recovered to strike out the side in the ninth inning. So Kenley Jansen will come on and try to save this game for Max Fried. He's got a 3-run lead in New York. Leagues in the ninth inning is at hand for Kenley Jansen, who has been tremendous for the Braves. 6 straight saves dating back to April 15th out in San Diego. He picked up the lone save on this road trip to this point down in Texas with another perfect inning. Jeff, since April 15th, Kenley Jansen's walked 1 batter. He's not given up a hit, and he's had at least 1 strikeout in each inning pitched.
It's kind of the run you're seeing what he did the last 2 months of the season and the postseason last year when he was outstanding. Same thing here in Atlanta. He's come in and done a fantastic job. Most games when he's in, it's been 1, 2, 3, lights out.
23 straight saves, second longest active streak in the major leagues. And he trails only Craig Kimbrell among active saves leaders with 356. And in the ninth inning, he's got the 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up for the Mets. Davis, Marte, and McNeil. He leads 5-2. Davis 0 for 1 with a walk against Kenley in his career. Braves trying to save this win for Max Fried, who would go to 3-2 on the year.
All night, Davis. Chip, fastballs up in the zone. Striking out twice on those pitches up top. 0-2 here. I can't imagine anything else than going right back up there.
These guys want to launch, don't they?
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that Morton and Kyle Wright can exploit tomorrow in the doubleheader. We'll have both games for you here on Bally Sports. The pitch. Broken bat roller. Dansby playing deeply. Charges and throws a strike. Kenley Jansen has the first out in the ninth inning. You know, we talk all the time about how good, Jeff, this Atlanta infield defense is. I think a big part of that is the clock and the foresight of knowing who's running.
The athleticism. They're able, as you said, to make plays. Like last inning, Austin Riley kind of bobbled that ball a little, knew I got to get rid of it quick. He was able to do it. That time, Dansby knew he had to charge quick and make an easy play.
So there's the all-important first out for Jansen. Here's Marte, who's 0 for 3 against Kenley in his career. Marte doubled and scored the game's first run.
And that's the important thing right now. Don't give them any hope right here. 1, 2, 3. So far, so good. 4 pitches, 4 strikes.
He's 5 for 5, and he is carving corners now. So a world of options for Kenley Jansen as Marte behind 0-2. Braves trying to win their second game this year in comeback fashion. They trailed 2-0. And have scored the last 5 runs in this game. Riley a homer in the 4th. Darno a double, a Duvall sac fly in the 6th, and then Travis with a 2-run double in the 8th to break open a 1-run game. Darno's taken some punishment tonight, hasn't he?
That was just funny. Look at him smiling. 0 chance of that ball.
He was doing his Tim Howard impression. Great soccer goalie. But no damage done. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jansen ready, and his 1-2 offering. Cool night in New York. We told you that. Temperature in the 50s. Jansen's also told us that hot weather suits him better.
And you can see that even with his velocity right now. We saw in Texas Friday night a couple 95s.
And a base hit on a 2-2 count. So Marte with a nice comeback after falling behind. He's got bookend hits. And McNeil, the scheduled hitter for New York. So for Kenley Jansen, as I said, that's very rare.
Trying to go away, got a little too much of the plate.
So McNeil is the hitter. If he can reach, Dominic Smith has grabbed a bat, looks to pinch hit. The best McNeil can do is make it a 1-run game. Kenley's hoping for a ground ball. McNeil's been on twice, a bunt single and a walk. And Jansen fires and gets ahead, strike 1.
Playing the shift with Dansby on the other side, and then of course Austin Riley right on the cut of the grass at third base, as you see, to make sure he doesn't try to push one.
McNeil a hot hitter, 5 hits in his last 2 games. Oh, 2. Doesn't matter who the pitcher is, doesn't matter the situation of the game or the count. McNeil always has a choked up grip. Excellent bat control. And that's easy to understand. A man that came in hitting .361 for the year. He's added 4 points to his average with a 1-for-2 night. The next one is taken low.
What a bad pitch. He just was set up away and he yanked it in.
Don't want to face Dom Smith, who would represent the tying run here if McNeil reaches. And pitch count's important for guys like Jansen and Matzik and Minter. We've got a doubleheader tomorrow and then a day game on Wednesday. 4 games in 48 hours. The pitch. This is what McNeil does. Served out of play. Fought off a sinker and a 1-2 count.
He checked his bat. It sounded like he broke his bat there, but apparently not.
A ball and 2 strikes. Lengthy at bat for McNeil here in the Mets ninth. They have 2 outs left. They're down 3 runs. Braves Live post game follows us. That's presented by Xfinity. Atlanta hoping to pick up the first win against New York here tonight.
That's still hanging tough, I guess. He's wearing out that handle.
A big 9th inning battle continues. The next. He went around and McNeil is rung up. There's the 2nd out. Brian O'Nora rings up McNeil. 2 down.
Close. Yeah, it probably went there. Big 2nd out, like you said, with Dom Smith coming up. Want to get this final out, but at no point can he tie the game up, even with a long ball.
There were some who wondered what the Mets roster move would be tonight when they got their roster down to 26 men. Some thought it might be Dom Smith who would be taken off the roster. Instead, it was Robinson Cano who was designated for assignment. And if Smith needed to make a good last impression, he certainly did that, Jeff. 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs on May the 1st against the Phillies.
Yeah, it would, to me, it would have been a mistake to get rid of him. The guy can hit. Might not have necessarily a position, but he's great off the bench.
Smith, a smart hitter, concedes the base to Marte. The Braves don't care about that. That's defensive indifference. I remember the final day of the season a couple of years ago here in New York, Dominic Smith hit a long home run to walk off against Atlanta. This guy's a real good defender at first base, good left-handed hitter. He's played the outfield some. And he's looking for an RBI here. No balls and a strike. Seven of Dominic Smith's career homers have come against the Braves. And for a Mets team that's done an excellent job of scoring in situations like this, he's one of the candidates. 6 RBIs on 4 hits with runners at second and third base in the early going. Marte at second, 2 outs. The Mets down to their last 2 strikes. Now they're down to their last. Max Fried trying to win his 3rd straight game. Kenley Jansen's a strike away from making that happen. Braves trying to stay warm on a raw night. Jansen ready. And the 1-2 pitch. Good take.
Well, the Braves 1 strike away after, to me, the most disappointing series of the season in Texas. So far tonight, 1 strike away, answering the bell, coming back.
Yeah, 5 unanswered runs, couple of big hits with runners in scoring position. Huge night from d'Arnaud, and the bullpen has yielded virtually nothing tonight. Just 1 hit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Braves fans chopping and chanting here at City Lake. So here we go. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Laid off that curveball. Almost went.
Well, here comes a huge pitch in the game. You've got Nimmo on deck. If Smith reaches, the Mets would bring the tying run to the dish. The 3-2 pitch. High fly ball to right. Acuna going back to the 370 side. He's there, and the Braves beat the Mets. 5-2 your final score. Max Fried wins his 3rd game in a row. The Braves bats come alive, and for the 2nd time this year, Jeff, Atlanta has a comeback win and a statement win as we start this series to pull to within 5 of New York's lead.
We saw the team fight back tonight, and I think that was great to see the emotion that they played with. Again, coming up here gets you a little bit of that feeling of a playoff atmosphere. The Mets got off obviously to a great start, but a great game tonight. Max Fried was outstanding again on the mound, only giving up 2 runs, and then Travis d'Arnaud with 2 big hits. Runners in scoring position has been tough to come by. Not tonight.
What a way to start the head-to-head series. A great game. And Travis d'Arnaud, the former Met, the hitting star for Atlanta, with 3 hits, 3 RBIs in the Braves, and their 11th win of the season. 5-2 is our final score. More fun tomorrow. 2 9-inning games, a double dip. Our coverage starts at 2:30 on Bally Sports Southeast. Charlie Morton will take the ball for Atlanta in game 1 of the set. For Paul Bird and Jeff Rancour and our great New York crew, I'm Chip Carey. We thank you for joining us. Stick around. Braves Live, presented by Xfinity, is next. Good night, everybody.